That is so hard to watch. I'm sorry. I just I got chills again. So after you watch these clips, I watched one with you, and that just gave me so many chills because she brings up a good point. The residence is very small. Domestic abusers. I'm not a domestic abuse expert, but I'm just assuming that if he was a domestic abuser, it didn't just happen once. It also happened multiple times throughout his time at that residence. Were the parents just standing by and watching this all unfold? We don't know that for sure, but this woman is saying that because of her experience, that more than likely happened. Again, I'm not saying that's fact, but this is what she's saying. I also think that's a very compelling argument as to what her family friends corroborated as well. Her family friend said that she had a false sense of security at the Bryan Laundrie home. She went in that van not expecting to be put in these situations. Just the 911 call is so heartbreaking to watch. I played it last night on my channel where the 911 call basically said that Bryan was the aggressor. We released a new audio last night of the dispatch call where Bryan was the aggressor. The police earlier in their statements, allegedly said that they didn't receive that information, but the dispatcher does show they received that information. Now, I've never been a cop. If you guys have been a cop, let me know. If you do receive things on dispatchers and you listen to every single last sentence on the dispatcher, maybe they didn't know. Maybe Bryan is just a huge master manipulator, and they did come into that believing him. There are some aspects to their search that is very peculiar, such as being way too friendly with Bryan. The search literally was just, hey, lift up your shirt and turn around and go sit on the sidewalk. It wasn't an actual search. Let's get back to playing this clip.
That you every day. I know you've been out here a lot. I've seen you other days too.
Yes, I've been here. I've been at Wyakatashi Creek Environmental Park. I was sitting out at the Carlton Reserve for 2 days.
Okay, this is a tourist claims he saw Mad Bryan Laundrie alone in a bar just prior to Gabby Petito's disappearance. So there's a witness out there that says he can place Bryan at that bar where the two Moab girls were. And there was another girl there with long blonde hair that was sitting in the back of that video of them two girls at the bar. You couldn't see if it was a man in the corner. It was being blocked by a wall. But you can see another blonde girl sitting there. Now, I don't know if that's true because we haven't seen all of the footage yet of the bar and surrounding stores around there that can track Bryan walking from the hotel where he was staying, where they think Gabby picked him up. Maybe she was there, maybe she wasn't there yet. And now there's a video out saying that the tourist claims he saw Mad Bryan Laundrie alone in a bar just prior to Gabby Petito's disappearance. Is it possible he ran into the Moab girls and was trying to get to Gabby and found Gabby? Or is it possible that Gabby was on her way to pick him up, or he didn't even contact Gabby yet? Maybe Gabby was already dead. I don't know. Until they come out with all the evidence, we don't know. Is it possible? Oh, yeah. It's possible after they split up, the police split them up, they got back together. They were supposed to stay. Listen, here's the key thing. They were supposed to stay away from each other. The police told them, do not contact. If we find out that you're together with them or whatever, you can get in trouble for that. We're going to split you up or you got to go to jail. So they split them up. They said in 24 hours or whatever, a couple days later, if you want to contact them, you can and meet up. Now, whether that was true or not, I don't know. I don't know. But here's the thing. Here's a scenario. Is it possible Brian was at the hotel by himself that night, went out and killed the Moab girls, and came back before he got a hold of Gabby, and Gabby picked him up a day later or 2 days later or whatever? That's possible. Is it possible Gabby right away, after, even though the police told her to stay away, she gave it a couple hours or whatever for the police after they dropped him off? He got a hold of her and she went and picked him up and was actually there at the bar? She could have been, but I don't think so. I think Gabby probably stayed away. It's a good chance Gabby just took off by herself and ended up where that van is, maybe. And he found her. That's a good thing. He could have got a ride from somebody. That's possible. He could have killed her and had help doing it. You know, he might have called for friends. We don't know. All I can say is we have to wait till all the evidence comes out. I do see someone in the video. When it first came out, I did see it, but it's only a small part of it. And there's more footage of it. And I only seen a small part of it, but they walk to the back of the corner of the bar, and you can see a blonde, it looks like, sitting back there. And it looks like she's talking to somebody, but you can't see them because the wall in the corner of the chairs is blocking them. So could it be? I don't know. It could be another girl and another guy, and they did the murders and then took off and left. And Brian was there at that time, and maybe wrong place at the wrong time, and the killers are a guy and a girl, and they split after that, after the Moab, and then they came up with some story to cover it up that they seen Brian. Okay, there. Now, Brian could be guilty of killing Gabby, but it also could be someone killed them and staged it. Maybe Brian's missing somewhere. Maybe Brian's alive. You know, we won't know. It's crazy. And why is it all mixed up? And there's so many things that, well, the devil has a hand in it. That's my opinion. And I'm done with YouTube for a while, people. I got to leave. I got enough death threats and everything, and people going cuckoo crazy. And so I got to give it a break. And yeah, the video with the van, I'm interested in who was parked. There was no one on the other side of the road except for one big giant camping bus. When they first pull into the park, it's off to the right-hand side of the video. After that, there ain't nobody on that side of the road. Nobody. There's only one red, big, long car trailer, and a pickup truck. But on the side that Gabby's van was found or seen, and it was the first campsite right before where Gabby van was found or seen. Okay. So is it possible he called for help? They met him there and someone helped him get rid of the body, or they were, it could have been. It could have been. So, all right. I got to cook some dinner. You guys have a good night. The door does close on the van. No doubt about it. I looked at that video when it first came out, and everyone was saying it's a shadow. There's no one in the van. The van door is closed. But I looked at it. I took that video and blew it up on my big screen and played it real slow. And you can see the door was open. And I thought it was a shadow from the trees because the sun was at the back of the van. It was casting shadows onto the road and towards the van. I thought it was a shadow till I put it on my big screen and watched it, and the van door closed. Probably 400 feet, 300 feet. But you have to remember there's a big S curve. They're coming down that road. They run into one camper or one trailer and a pickup truck on the left side of the bus, the camping bus, as it's going down the road. It's a big S curve. And as they come around the first one and start getting almost to the second one, you can see the door is open. And then once that bus comes around the second bend, starts coming around the second S curve, it spooked them and they shut the door. Probably because they didn't want to be seen. Nobody wanted to be seen what was in there or who was in there. I'd be asking who were the campers right before Gabby's van was seen there? Who was parked there? In that red car trailer and a pickup truck, it looked like. Possibly an SUV. I think it was a pickup truck, though. They'd have to see. I don't know. That's just my opinion. Now, there's a case out here, Delphi, where a white van was spotted in a video, supposedly. From what I've seen, it did look like a white van, maybe parked out in the woods there, maybe someone camping. But there was a report, and it is in a video, where it says that someone made the report, or that there was a couple out there arguing earlier before the girls were killed. Now, or right before the girls were killed. Now, they said it was a couple, a guy and a girl, a young girl or whatever, arguing. Okay? I guess the people seen Gabby and them walk onto the bridge and go down that way. But someone was coming back from that way and said that there was a girl and a guy arguing back there. And there was reports that there was a white van out there and a white utility truck or a box truck parked on the side of the main road. The van was out in the wood area. Now, whether that video is true or not, I don't know. But that was a video from 4 years ago. The Delphi murders were 4 years ago. Okay? How long did Gabby have that van? Where did she get that van? Because the photos or the video I seen, you can see it could be a small van or a white bigger van or whatever, but it was in a video. I think it was Mind Shock. I seen that video. It was a good video too, and it did. She blew up the picture and she said, "Well, it does look like something's back there, a white vehicle or something, but is it possible to get a vehicle back there?" And let me tell you something, if you can get a locomotive down that bridge and down that path, then you can get a vehicle down in there. And there was a road right underneath the bridge that ran on the side of it. So yes, very possible there could have been somebody down there in the van, a guy and a girl in a white van, arguing whether they were camping or not, possibly. Now, here's the thing. Now that van that they were looking for, a white van in the Delphi case, that they think it was numerous people that were involved in it, maybe a sex ring, drug ring, they knew something, or one of the girls were pregnant because they were, talking to other girls or dating somebody on social media. And there's rumors Brian Chadwell lived underneath that bridge. Could it have been a bunch of them? It could have been. Could it have been? I'm just saying, could it have been by chance? A white van that looks like Gabby's van. How long did she have the van? And is it possible that Brian has done this before in the past? They were looking for an older man that was spotted walking around there. Could it have been? I'm just saying, a theory, my opinion, could it have been Brian's father and Brian? And Gabby, how long did Gabby live at that dude's house? When's the first time she moved there? When did they have the van? When did they leave? We're talking, this is big. This is big. It's possible that they were doing things, maybe someone that had that van before them, but there is a van mentioned in the video that people I witnessed out there. Now, whether that's true or not, but that's what the videos said. I'm going by what the video said. Could be a rumor, could be it was a false report, but I did pull up the satellite photos and that were shown of that area, and there is a white big either box van or utility van parked off to the side of the road, and it does look like there's something else out there. So is it possible? It could be. It could be. I don't know. Now, his dad might not even been with him. These vanners and these young kids that go out vanning, they might be working for somebody, dating site, whatever. I don't know. Sex ring, drug ring, whatever. That's my opinion. You guys have a good night. I got to make some dinner and I'll talk to you guys later. No, I've never dated an Asian woman. Good God. No, I never dated an Asian woman. I've never dated an African-American woman. I have dated an Italian girl / German, a Jewish girl, a Polish girl. But guess what? They're all alive. Thank God for that. Thank God for that. No, I don't date too much. And I haven't been with a woman in, I don't know, ever since I moved here. 7 years, 8 years, 9 years, whatever. So no, never dated an Asian girl. Although I might. I'd like to. Sure, I'd love to date her. Only if she's serious. I don't want these women that, they say you're dating, but they're out sleeping with all kinds of men. No, I want a serious relationship. I'm not one of these nutsos driving around banging everybody in a mobile van or whatever. I don't know. That's just my opinion. But there you go. He's wanted for questioning in the Delphi killing. If I was running the case, I'd say we want to talk to him first because the Delphi murders happened before Gabby. But let them do what they want. But Indiana and the FBI wants to talk to Brian. And I would ask the FBI for me. Question him on the Delphi killings. When did he buy that van? There is a van that is reported that was out there. And I think has been reported in other crimes. How long did she have the van? When did they start their trip? When did they tear it apart and refix it? Because there's some scenarios on the Delphi case that they weren't even killed at the bridge, that they were planted there. We don't know because the police have not released any information on that case except for a little bit and no crime scene photos. And there are scenarios out there that they might not even have been killed there. They might have met someone there and they might have went out for a ride or whatever, killed the girls, did whatever, and then dropped the bodies off behind the cemetery of the Delphi Bridge. So I would question them. Everyone's a suspect. You guys have a good night. I got to eat some dinner, and I'm thinking about giving it all up and walking away from everything for a while. Jesus, save us from Satan, and he is real. And I don't know what these people are calling all these women missing and little kids being killed, raped, shot. I don't know. I don't think that's God. I don't know. You guys have a good night.